Classic car owners in California are growing increasingly concerned as they fear that carbon neutrality policies might phase out vehicles. NTD's בי.ג'יי speaks to them to hear their worries.
Here in the Golden State, classic cars are a staple of the vehicle population that cruise up and down our streets and highways. But could an iconic part of California's culture disappear as a result of its own state policies? We talked to vintage car owners about their concerns over carbon reduction policies and how they might impact this world-famous car community. In 2022, the California Air Resources Board created a scoping plan to help achieve Governor Newsom's carbon neutrality goals. The plan seeks to reduce demand for liquid petroleum by 94% and total fossil fuel by 86% in 2045 relative to 2022. Car owners shared how they feel about this policy.
Pretty soon we cannot run our cars because they keep on restricting the gassing, and all these old cars needs fuel.
If we can get gas, we can run. But obviously if we can't get any gas, we can't do it.
Car owners were also skeptical about how realistic it would be to effectively switch a majority of the Californian population to a zero-emissions car infrastructure, singling out electric cars specifically.
They have to supply the need for the people. The people can't afford to go out and buy these electric cars. They can't afford to replace the battery after 3 years when they take a dump. So what are they going to do with all the batteries that are stacked up? That's environment. That's terrible.
I think that the gas cars are here to stay. The electric cars, I think, will be a thing of the past because of the fact that they can't dispose of the batteries right now. Nobody has developed a process of disposing the batteries.
CARB told NTD in a statement that their scoping plan expects that there will be fossil fuel available beyond 2045. They said that they're working with other federal agencies such as the California Energy Commission and Environmental Protection Agency to ensure that the proper infrastructure and battery recycling systems support zero-emission vehicles. CARB added that zero-emissions requirements have only been applicable to new vehicles. The preservation of past vehicle examples is in no way diminished by ongoing efforts for cleaner and less polluting cars. But car owners still emphasize the role that classic cars play in our culture.
Oh, they're not only California history, but they're U.S. history. I grew up on the East Coast, and classics are as big back there as they are out here. But so much of it started right here in Southern California, from drag racing to classic cars to custom cars to most of the designers all came from right here locally.
I think that the classic cars that keeps everybody from my era to the present era of what was happening back in the 50s and the 60s. So it just keeps all of that alive. I think that that the classic cars brings all of us back to where it used to be. You know, we don't have that much anymore.
In response to that, CARB stated, "There has been so much discussion about what is different about zero-emission vehicles that many forget how much remains the same. I have no doubt that in the future, just as there will still be owners of 23 or 32 Fords, 64 VW buses, or 67 Camaros, somebody's classic may be a 2010 Tesla Roadster or a 2011 Leaf," insinuating that the legacy of classic cars will only be expanded and not erased. בי.ג'יי, NTD News, California.